So another person asked, you mentioned Dolpopa, so I'll ask this one. You mentioned Dolpopa's response to the idea that samsara and nirvana are differentiated by whether or not you recognize Buddha nature. What was Dolpopa's objection to that?
Well, he said that doesn't fly. That doesn't work, because in his view, samsara and nirvana, or relative and ultimate truth, are completely separate. Like you said, they're like two different kingdoms. They have nothing to do with each other. So, which means it doesn't work if you recognize the one to get rid of the other, because they're completely disconnected. Something else has to happen. Like you actually have to go from the one to the other, so to speak.
Right. And that's quite different from the third Karmapa's presentation of this stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's a question of recognition versus non-recognition. And in Dolpopa, he doesn't subscribe to mere recognition. He says there needs to be more than that. Like that's not what the path consists of.
And can I ask, how does someone like Khenpo Tsotrong Gyamtso Rinpoche in modern times teach about that?
Well, he definitely also taught a lot about recognition and non-recognition. So he definitely subscribed to that. I never heard him mention that samsara and nirvana, or relative and ultimate reality, are like two different kingdoms. Only when he referred to Dolpopa. And actually, the Uttara Tantra was, in his teaching career in the West, that was one of the first texts that he taught, I think right after the Jewel Ornament. Quite extensively, actually. And then, and that many of those teachings are actually preserved in Rosie Fuchs' book, Buddha Nature, in the notes in the end. So there he clearly exposes a Shentong view. There's no doubt about that.
Right. But a Shentong view that might be slightly different from Dolpopa.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Definitely more in line with third Karmapa or eighth Karmapa, as we discussed, like a more balanced view.
Right. And would you say that's common in the Kagyu tradition?
No, not really. Like you could say after Jamin Kongtrul, there was more of a polarization actually, because Jamin Kongtrul, as I said, mainly follows Taranata.
Right.
And Jonang presentation of Buddha nature and Taranata is not exactly the same as Dolpopa either, but still Jonang presentation of Buddha nature is very much on the luminosity side and the quality side and all that, and is not favorable of Rangtong in that context. So, and I think mostly after Jamin Kongtrul, that's what people took as the Kachi view. But I think in more modern times that has been, differentiated more by looking again more closely at the text by the Karmapas and things like that. And interestingly, when Jamin Kongtrul comments on the third Karmapa's writing, like his treatise on Buddha nature, he does not go into any of the things that he says otherwise. He sticks very clearly to what the Karmapa says. Like he doesn't go into hardcore Shentong presentation in the Jonang tradition there. So he definitely seems to have been aware of the difference.
Right. Interesting.
But then the whole Rangtong-Shentong, there's many debates over many centuries, and then of course at some point it also has become almost like some corporate identity thing, like two soccer fan clubs. Well, either you have to belong to this one or to that one. Like this is so. it was sometimes a little bit difficult to find a middle ground there.
Yeah. All right.
For example, also, sorry, just one thing, like, for example, also Trungpa Rinpoche, he also definitely teaches non-exclusivist Shentong view.
Right.
In Kagyu, yeah.